just discovered mother-to-be. There's a lot of estrogen going on right now, folks. I'm out of my league right now. Please welcome mother-to-be, Dr. Amy Brown. Let me ask you this. Why is egg freezing a good option?
Well, you know, Steve, times have changed, and women don't want a baby to derail their careers, or they haven't found Mr. Right in their 20s and 30s. And egg freezing gives women choices, and it's also very empowering. Because with this new technology that we have right now, egg freezing success rates are very similar to the other fertility options that we have.
Excuse me, but just from the layman's standpoint, I mean, what even is egg freezing? I know you're saying you're freezing the egg, but for what? I mean, when you freeze the egg, how long, how cold,
So let me go back. So every month a woman makes an egg, and that egg has potential to turn into a baby. And so throughout our lifetime, we're losing eggs. And at some point, we have too few eggs to get pregnant.
So you make one egg a month?
Usually one egg out of a group of between 10 and 20. So what we do is we stimulate the eggs and we save those eggs so that when they're ready to have a baby, we can thaw them and result in a pregnancy, whereas at a different time it might be very, very hard.
Okay, so you thaw the egg. Who you do this? No, I don't know.
So this is for their future use. So we thaw the eggs and we mix it with the sperm of their future partner. And then we create these embryos, which are like little babies.
She'll be in the audience.
And then we can put it right into the uterus. And then she has a baby like this.
So you give the egg back to them?
Yes. Their eggs.
You say, I know what his egg is. I was trying to figure out what his egg is. Because it sounds like a big market, and I just need to know if I need to invest in this.
That's a different show.
Okay. All right, well, let's go. These ladies got a ton of questions for you. Dr. Brown has explained. Have you explained the procedure? How it works? I think she's done that right now. All right, so let's go to you, Megan. She didn't explain the procedure. Can you explain the procedure for me?
Absolutely. So a woman takes hormone injections on average from 9 to 12 days to grow the eggs. And then we do a procedure once the eggs are ready to remove them. And I know your question was, how do we do it? So it involves a needle that we place right through the vaginal wall and into the ovaries. But there's no incision. There's no incision.
I cannot take a shot.
And there's also no pain. That's because you get anesthesia for that. And then once we have the eggs, they get frozen. And we can freeze eggs for an indefinite amount of time. And then when you're ready, when the time is right, and you find Mr. Right, then you just come back and we thaw them and mix them with the sperm and we do in vitro.
Okay. What about side effects and costs? Because she had even mentioned about the cost of it.
There are some minimal temporary side effects like moodiness.
Sorry, I know.
But it is temporary. It's very temporary. Most women go through the procedure and don't have any issues at all. To answer the question about costs, on average, it's about $8,000 to $12,000, but it depends on where you live and what clinic you go to. But you can finance it.
Which means where you live.
You know, different areas in the country, it's different, it's different markets, and so it's a different price.
Like a third world. Probably get that egg about $50. Can't guarantee your personal safety. Okay, are these ladies good candidates for that? Because Megan is 23.
Absolutely. The data that we have is that egg freezing is most successful when we're younger. So when we are born with as many eggs as we're ever going to have, we're born with 1 million. But by the time you're 20, that number's 100,000. And when you're 30, it's 50,000. And at 40, 10,000. And I know that sounds like a lot of eggs, but you have to remember that not only is the egg number decreasing, but the quality. So a 30-year-old egg is not the same as a 40-year-old egg. So if you freeze your eggs when you're less than 20, that chance of pregnancy is about 50%. But
That explains it. You just said it. The older you get, the lower the quality is. My mother had me at 42. Here I was sitting over there just damn
There's a guy who has a fader and he pushes the fader. He opens the magic. Audio board and he sits in the fader. One of those faders. Your mouth is dumb.
no wonder I caught all the hell I done caught in my life.
When you're out there.
I just wasn't that good at it. Shit. $12,000, 8,000 to 12,000. Were you expecting that cost?
Something around there.
But let me ask you this. Oh, okay, when you keep the eggs, and like she keeps it for 10 years, who keeps it? How much that cost?
the storage fee is usually about $400 to $500 a year. And it's kept up
$400 to $500.
$400 to $500 a year. And it's kept at the fertility clinic where the procedures perform.
Keep it up. Froze is froze. And then that way you know your egg. That's your egg. You get it down in the fertility clinic, they get them eggs mixed up. Next thing you know, I'm gonna have a little Russian baby. That's what I said. He ain't drinking milk, he just drinking water. He just over there. Okay, see, I'm a guy. Excuse me. So this is nothing really that I've ever even thought about. And I'm being very honest with you. I just don't get it. I'm looking at her, and I'm even wondering why a person 23 wants to save an egg. I mean, if you've got a 10-year plan, you're only going to be 33. I don't know, why you saving an egg when you're 23? Are you planning on, like, not having nobody in 10 years? Or, I'm trying to understand.
I guess it just depends on how my career goes, because I want to graduate first and get a career first, and then, then start, a family, or try to start a family if I do find someone by that age, or if I don't, at least I still have these eggs that are frozen. I might find someone when I'm 40. You never know.
Okay.
And I think this is really a smart thing for these women to be thinking about, because no one really plans to be infertile. I had my first baby at 30, no problems. And then I got a new job, and I had to wait for baby number 2. And at 35, my egg count was drastically different. And I do this every day, so I should know better. But I had to do fertility treatments to get pregnant. So we know that women, all of a sudden, they're 40 and realize it's a lot harder to get pregnant than they thought it was going to be. So having these eggs frozen really does give them that potential, so that women don't have to go through the infertility process, because it's hard.
Okay, so Candy, for example. Candy, you're how old, you said?
38.
30. Okay, so... You had mentioned it once. I didn't think twice would hurt. But now, and you want to do this because what?